Hi, welcome to another hour. Another hour.
Welcome to the Nappy Hour, guys, the place where you tell me all about your fucked up lives and I tell everyone, just like real friends. So open your ears and let me fill them full of shit. Advice. I've been looking at my stats, guys. I've been looking at my podcast stats. I wanted to know who my listenership is. Who's tuning into the Nappy Hour? And it turns out most of my audience is from the UK. That's pretty obvious. Next up, Australia. G'day, mate. Coming in third and fast. Français. Oui, oui. Next up, Germany. Guten Tag. Who else do we have next? Let me look at my notes again. New Zealand. I don't know the difference between Australia and New Zealand necessarily. I know when I hear it. Who else do we have? Portugal, Sweden, and Switzerland. 3% in each of you guys. Hello. What a pleasure to have you. Pretty disappointed about my listenership in Morocco. Not going to lie, guys, less than 1% in Morocco. Pretty pissed off about that. We've got someone listening in Casablanca, who'd have thought it, and someone listening in another part of Morocco that I couldn't pronounce. But hello? I feel like we could get that percentage up. I want to increase my audience in Morocco. I feel like we've all got a mate living in Morocco. No, surely a few of you guys in the UK have friends living in Morocco. Send the podcast their way. Okay, let's double. I want to double my Moroccan audience by next week. All right, guys, make it happen. Make magic happen for me. We've got someone listening in Ukraine. Okay, not many people. I think just 1 or 2 people listening in Ukraine. There is a war going on in Ukraine and you are taking your time to listen to me? That is an honor. Thank you very much. It's good to have you guys. As always, guys, I'm not a professional. If there is anything seriously bothering you, call your local Prime Minister, call HMRC. Let's keep it light over here, guys. I'm just a mom, a mother, a mama. Can we just have a laugh for a moment at my friend who is 10 years younger than me? I went for dinner with her recently and I was sat opposite her having a nice conversation. I turned my head to the side and she goes to grab something out of my hair. And I'm like, ow. And she was like, oh, it's attached. I thought it was a thread. I thought it was a white thread. No, honey, that's a white hair and it's attached to my head because I'm 30, you fucking bitch. That is what you get for hanging out with 20-year-olds. I need to get some older mates. She was mortified. She's exactly the kind of girl that, you have a really beautiful experience with them and then they go home and they're like pranging about everything. They just text you and they're like, I'm sorry if I was annoying. And it's like, you were literally lovely as hell. Like, I don't know what is wrong with you. Is that anxiety? Do you have anxiety? She is that girl. And so I know that particular interaction, it would have been waking her up in the middle of the night in cold sweats. It's a good job I've got a good sense of humour, girl, because you were pulling on my only grey hair, okay? And I'm very proud of that grey hair. Well, there's probably a few more, let's be real, but it's the only one I can see, and I'm very proud of it. And the thought that you could have pulled it out my head, then we would have had an issue. If you would have pulled my first grey hair out my head, I'd be pretty pissed off. But thankfully, it is still attached to my head. I am on my way to being a silver fox, and I cannot wait. Grey and curly hair. Ooh, although the reality is it's not going to be like, I imagine my hair to be just like this, like silky curls, thick, luscious grey curls. It's going to be like wiry and like poking out in all different directions and constantly like snapping off because that's what happens to grey hairs. So it's not going to be as cute as I imagine. I really don't want to dye my hair either. Like, I just want to embrace the grey. I want to embody that grey. I want to just be proud of my greyness, Like, I see girls walking out with just like streaks of grey or like just like random bits of grey hairs. And I think that's fucking sexy. Is that not sexy? Grey hair's kind of cool. Maybe I'm just trying to make myself feel better. I was speaking to my friends recently about the high expectations I put on myself. I put such high expectations on the kind of mum that I want to be and the kind of childhood that I want to provide Woody and the kind of person that I want to raise. You know, the kind of person that I want to raise is very specific. I have an idea of how I should raise this person. And basically that idea is me being the perfect wife and mother at all times. Otherwise, I am a failure. Well, I'm not a perfect wife and I'm not a perfect mother. I am incredibly imperfect and flawed and I fuck up every day and I'm setting myself up to constantly be disappointed in myself. And I had that realization the other day. Some days we're good. Some days, you know, I put loads of effort in. We do activities. We go outside. We go on the beach. We play. I'm not on my phone at all. Like some days are brilliant and some days are shit. Like some days we are watching TV, watching movies. I'm getting work done. I'm on my phone. I'm distracted. If I think about the kind of person that I want to be, it's not necessarily conducive to the life that I currently have. Like if I lived on a farm, and I didn't have to work, and neither did Zach, maybe I could then live the ideal life that I wanted to live. You know, this idealistic thing that we all see online. Homestead. And I could have a homestead Instagram posting me feeding the chickens and shit. But I don't. I live in Blackpool. I am a content creator, so I'm on my phone a lot. We don't have that village support network, so it is me and Zach fucking grafting. It is what it is. And you know what? Some days are good. Some days, like I said, we are out the house, we're doing activities, we're having fun together, I'm present. And some days, you know what, Woody? Mum's got to work. So today's going to be a TV day and later Mum's going to go to the gym and train. So I'm going to leave you in front of the TV with a movie and some fish fingers and peas. And Dad is just upstairs finishing off his work. He'll be down in a sec. And you know what, babe? I've got work to do later tonight. So when I get in from the gym, I'm going to get straight onto work and Dad's going to be putting you to bed. You know, we're not going to be both tucking you into bed like I would like it to be. Every day will be different. It won't be perfect because I'm not perfect. And life isn't perfect. And that is all right. You know, I think a lot of parts of parenting are stigmatized. All these weird social constructs make us feel like this is the only way that you can parent. Otherwise, you are failing your child. A lot of these constructs are contradictory and unrealistic and actually, like, quite frankly, impossible. Like the whole thing about, you know, having a baby but then not looking like a mum. You don't want to, oh my God, the worst thing you could do is have a baby and then look like you've had a baby. Like, bleh, that is rank. You don't want to be frumpy and dumpy. Like, sure, be pregnant, be round and beautiful. That's fine. But the moment that baby's out your body, you better not have that mum pouch. And funnily enough, the best compliment that you can give a new mum is, oh my gosh, you don't even look like you've had a baby. Have you just been pregnant? You would never guess. You're so skinny. Thank goodness you're not fat and mumsy and lumpy like those other mums. Yuck. You know, in between that and the going back to work debate, there's like thousands of ways that we as parents are made to feel like we're failing when it comes to their kids' sleep, what they're wearing, whether they're walking or crawling or talking, what they're eating, how you carry them. Do you baby wear? Do you buggy? Do you co-sleep? What toys you buy them? Whether you do screen time, whether you breastfeed or not. Do you bottle feed or breastfeed? And you're made to feel bad either way. I just thought I'd bring that to you mums because I know if I'm struggling with it, I know other mums are as well. And sometimes we don't even know that we're struggling with it. We don't know that we're putting high expectations on ourselves until someone else talks about it and they're like, oh yeah, I really do that and I didn't even know that I do that. So I hope me blurting out my word vomit about me trying to lower my expectations on myself and the way that I parent gives you permission to lower your expectations as well, because I think we're all holding ourselves to unrealistic, excuse me, burp, unrealistic, impossible standards. Anyway, mum friends, it's over to you and your dilemmas. Let's get into it, shall we? Before I start my question, I want to tell you how much I enjoy listening to your thoughts every Wednesday. It's given me giggles when I feel down and I can relate in so many ways as a mother. Thank you for that. Many greetings from Germany. Guten Tag. My stepmother is a professional nanny. It's a blessing because I have to work soon and my son, who's 1 year, will be at her place with 3 other kiddos from 8 to 12. Oh, as in, I thought she meant like 8 8-year-olds to 12-year-olds, she means 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. That makes sense. But she's putting some pressure on me because I'm still breastfeeding. She's telling me that my son is too dependent because of that. And I'm torn between her opinion and my feeling, which is that I'm okay to keep breastfeeding when I pick him up. I like to be honest with her, but I feel like she's a little bit too involved. Should I talk to her about it or just do it my own way? I'm confused. What do you think about it? My relationship with her is otherwise good. We spend time together. I'd happily go and hang out with her on my own, for example. It's just this issue. I would say that it is no one's right to put any pressure on you to stop breastfeeding at all. Also, why are people so weird about a baby, a literal baby, being attached to its mum? Like, this baby spent the majority of a year inside my body. It was literally my body knitted this being out of my energy, and then I birthed it, and it's been on this planet for 12 months. What planet are you from where a 1-year-old should not be dependent on its mum? Like, what do you want from him? He's 12 months old. Do you want him to move out, start cooking himself dinner, doing his own taxes? Like, what do you expect from a 1-year-old? He's obviously enjoying it. So are you. The health benefits are well documented and researched to breastfeeding, past the age of 2. So why do people get so weird about breastfeeding past the age of 1? I don't understand. People are so supportive of breastfeeding. Oh, you're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. The moment that kid crosses over 12 months, everyone's like, are you still doing that? Are you sure you should be doing that? Don't you think that baby's going to be a bit needy? Shut up. I find it funny that generation are so obsessed with us detaching from our babies. Like, why does it upset you guys? Why does it make you feel uncomfortable, our babies being dependent on us? Just because you guys were ripped from the boob and left at the bottom of the garden to scream yourself to sleep and given whiskey when you couldn't sleep to knock you out for the night doesn't mean that's how we should raise our children. Look, these conversations are awkward because it is hard to tell an older person, like a few years ago, we would see these guys as authority figures, and now we've got our own families and we don't really see them in that way anymore. So it is awkward to sort of correct this person on their outdated views or opinions. But I think the best way to do it is by finding an article that talks about the benefits of breastfeeding up until the age of 2 and just send it to her. You can just say to her, listen, I've thought about what you said, Ari, breastfeeding and attachment, and it's really helped me decide on how I want to move forward. Let her read it, and then the evidence is there. She's going to read that same article and come to that same conclusion. And I think that's sometimes the best way to handle these situations with an older generation is sort of let them come to the realization. You can give them the information that you've been given and then let them come to the realization themselves. Listen, the only 2 opinions that matter are you and your baby. Tune everyone else out. You'll both know when the time is right to stop. Actually, really, the most important opinion is yourself, because my son would have breastfed until he was about 45. My nipples being stretched so long that I was tripping up over them. All the blood just drained from my body, and I'm lying on the floor like a dried up little walnut. This mummy says, I'm having an issue with my partner's family. It's awkward because we're living with them part-time while we're in between homes. The problem is my partner's brother and his girlfriend. They're using us as free childcare whenever they want to go off and have sex or go to the pub. They don't even ask, they just leave without a word and 0 acknowledgement when they come back. It's a regular occurrence and it's winding me up. I don't feel like I can say anything because it's my partner's family, so I keep my mouth shut. That's shut. I keep my mouth shut. But it's starting to affect my relationship with them. I know family is family, so I love those kids a lot, but doesn't mean I want to be their childminder working for free while they go off and have fun acting like a couple of teenagers. Help! Wow, the audacity. The audacity. There's a couple of traits that I hate in human beings, okay? And one of those traits, my least favorite traits in a person, is a piss taker. We've got a couple of piss takers in our midst. Is it mitts or mist or mix? Whatever it is. There are a couple of piss takers over there. It's extra awkward when it's your partner's family. And I really do think that when it's your partner's family, it's your partner's responsibility to set the boundary and sort it out. Like, why? Let's call him Tom. Tom needs to sort this out, okay? Listen here. Tom needs to sit his brother down. Excuse me, but we all know how we talk to our siblings, right? You can't just, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But like me and my siblings have had blazing rows. Me and my siblings will call each other out on like the drop of a hat. If I'm in the room and my brother is breathing too loudly, I'm like, Richard! That's the beautiful thing about siblings is you can get away with it. Like you can say anything. You can have an earth-shattering row with your sibling and next week it's just water under the bridge. Why is he not sitting his brother down and just saying, not cool, bro? There's a couple of ways that we can handle this. We could have an adult conversation. We could sit them down over a cup of tea and say, listen, guys, we love you. We love you kids. But stop taking the fucking piss out of us. Or, I'm always up for a little bit of pettiness, me. Just start invoicing them. Send them an invoice. Straight in there. £15 an hour, a childminder is. £20 if you're in London. Sorry, no freebies here. Family schmamily, mate. It's a cost of living crisis. Or, even pettier, you could just start doing it as well. The moment they come in from their little trip to the pub or whatever, bye. Just walk out. Maybe give your kids some notice so like it doesn't, they're not like, where the fuck is my mum? And they don't like internalize it and then think that you hate them. Just whisper to them, we're just popping out, okay? Just popping out to the shops. And then when they come in through the door, hi, bye, out you go. You say, I'm just popping to the shops. They text you, where the fuck are you? Where are you? Oh, sorry, babes, I'm in Bath. I'm at spa break right now. I'm getting a Turkish massage, babe. Sorry, I'll be back in a bit though, yeah? It's the lack of gratitude that is winding me up. It's a lack of acknowledgement. When I leave my son with anyone, family, friends, the anxiety, the guilt and the gratitude that I feel for them caring for my child, because you know that no one loves your child, no one cares for your child as much as you do. Facts. And I think some people can forget that. You know, for instance, I left Woody with my sister for a weekend on my birthday, right? So a few months back. And my sister, she was so brilliant about it. She was messaging like, he's so polite, he's brilliant. But when I went to pick that boy up, my sister had changed. Something inside her soul had died. Because it's flipping exhausting looking after someone else's child. Because you've got to pull from a different pool. When you're pulling from your pool for your child, it's like it's a bottomless pool. Like you can just keep pouring. Even when you're empty, it's like you're just pouring. When it's someone else's kid, honestly, my cup is about that deep. But for Woody, my pool is like endless, right? And I think, yeah, people forget that. And bless, my sister was, you know, she was so brilliant about it. And she would never ever say that it was, you know, hard work. When I dropped him off, she was like, oh my God, this is really making me want 2 kids. And then when I picked him up, she was like, I think we're good with one. I think we're good with one for now. And I thought, yeah, that was hard work, huh? But I cannot possibly imagine just like not being eternally grateful for someone doing that.
Next one.
I'm trying to work out whether it's worth getting a job and putting my kids in nursery. I live abroad, so we have little support. I'm currently a stay-at-home mum with 2 children, and even though I enjoy it, it's not exactly the life I thought I'd have. I miss having conversations with adults, feeling like I'm progressing in a job. I miss earning my own money and not relying on my husband. However, if I do start work again, basically my earnings would just about cover the childcare costs. Is it worth it? Wanting to compare your thoughts on the pros and cons of going back to work. We don't need the extra money. It would really just be for me, as I might need a change of scene. Okay, hun, listen. Don't do it. You need a change of scene, go to a water park. Okay, honey, don't get a job. Jesus. Let's make a massive assumption. I don't know your situation with your career, your qualifications, but let's make a massive assumption that the job that you would be going for isn't like your dream job. I'm going to guess that it would just be like a job. Do you know what I mean? Like the majority of us, our jobs aren't our dream job. It's just a job to pay the bills. It sounds fun. Ooh, a job. Get to set my alarm and go to work, and I get to dress like an adult and have conversations with other adults. Isn't that fun? Is it? Is it that fun? I don't know, hun. You know, I get to wear smart clothes and go to the office and grab a coffee on the way, and I get to have a little flirt with my colleagues by the water tank. What do I think a job is? I don't think I know what job is. You know, it sounds fun. The grass is always greener. Okay, babe. Let's talk about the reality. The reality is you're going to be setting your alarm, waking up, dropping the kids off in daycare, commuting, traffic. Lame. Get to work, run up to your office, making small chat with people that you don't really know or like, you've got nothing in common with them. You're sat at your desk, probably not actually making that much conversation all day because everyone's just busy, you know, working. People talking to you like shit. You got a boss that's in a bad mood and they're bitching at you for doing something wrong. There's office drama, there's dynamics. You go home and then what? You've got to just pick your kids up from daycare and then start work again. It's job number 2 and it's called mum life. And it's, you know, you get home, you make dinner, you put the kids in bed, you clean up, you fucking go to bed and you start again. I don't know about that, babe. Think about the freedom being taken away. And I know, you know, being a stay-at-home mum to 2 kids isn't exactly freedom. But now, if you want to go away for a long weekend, you got to book time off, hun. Oh, sorry, you're all out of days because you only get 28 days off a year. And now, right, you're going to be one of those people that has to live for the weekend. The freaking weekend. And let me tell you, the weekend ain't so freaking anymore. You know, those family fun attractions that you like going to in the week because it's quiet and you can go on all the things and there's no queues? Not anymore, sweetie pie, not anymore. Because you can only go on the weekends when it's peak hours and the peak hours are stressful. Can you afford a day or like half a day of childcare with a childminder or something on your husband's wage? Can you stretch? Can we shuffle some shit around in our subscriptions? What subscriptions can we cancel to make half a day or a full day if possible work just once a week? You know, are you getting Estrid razors? That's £6 a month. Stop getting Estrid razors. Get the cheap ones from Boots. Netflix account? Just nick someone else's. Ask, excuse me, can I borrow your Netflix account, please? That's £17 a month you're saving. Spotify, do you have a family membership on Spotify? That's a tenner you're going to save. You can thank me later. I'm assuming you're thinking of doing like a part-time or a full-time role. So you're going to be working at least 3 days a week. I would assume maybe even 4 or 5, depending on the job that you'd be getting. So is there a way that we can just have like 1 day a week childcare? And on that day, are we able to like enroll ourselves in a course that we can progress in or learn a skill, take up a hobby, join a volunteering group? Like, is there some sort of community vibe that we can get involved with that will give you those adult interactions, make you feel like you're progressing? Surely there's got to be another way to implement the things that you are missing and you want to get from a job. Surely we can take those aspects and bring them into our life without actually having to sign our life away. Poof, it all goes once you sign that contract, babe. And you know what? You might have tried this already. Maybe you already have a day's childcare and it's already hoovered up with loads of other stuff that you have to do. Maybe this stuff, what I'm saying right now, really is not resonating, or you've tried it and it hasn't worked and you still feel like you're missing something. And then I think, sure, there's your answer. Maybe getting back into work will give you the what you're missing from your life. But, you know, let's just think about it. Let's not rush into things, okay? Pros of getting a job. So you get to chat to adults, meet adults, sure. You get time away from the family, which is really, really beneficial for your soul. You get to earn your own money, even if you are putting it straight into the childcare. That might still be like a feeling that you want to have again, like contributing to the family business financially. You know, when you are not a stay-at-home mum anymore, you get to match your husband's energy in the child raising and the home caring. What was it? Homemaking. Cons, you know, what a lot of mums that have gone back to work report back to me is that they thought that when they went back to work that their jobs, their mother jobs, their wife jobs would decrease and they would be 50-50. But a lot of the times it's not the case. They still end up doing the same amount of labor in the home as they were doing before, but now they just have a job that they have to go to. So if your communication with your partner is really good, then cool. But I think a lot of mums really do struggle finding that balance with the partner and like reevaluating how they run the home. Time away from the kids isn't always good because you're missing out on some fun shit. Like, they change so much, they learn so much. And day to day, Woody is a different kid. So him spending time with other people, I know some people be like, that's really good and an important thing for them to do. To me, that just gives me anxiety. I don't know these other kids. They might be little crazies. They could be little psychopaths. And now my child is getting influenced by all these weirdos. Less toddler fun. Toddler fun and toddler mayhem. It's a very fine line, isn't it? Toddler fun can very easily slip into toddler shit town. Less time for you, like hello. So, you're spending 8-9 hours a day at work. So it's not going to be filling up necessarily your personal cup. And then you've got mum you. So that's the rest of the day. When are you just you? If I had to get a job, when do I get Miranda time? I'm going to have so much less capacity to fill up my internal cup. And that's important. And finally, like you said, it's expensive. So you will be effectively working for free. And like I said, if you don't love the job, the mindset of working for free will, I think, grind you down. Hey Miranda / mum friends. I love that you guys are referring to each other as mum friends now. I don't know. That makes me happy. Hey Miranda / mum friends. I need some advice on dealing with jealousy in my group of mates. I have a beautiful 9-month baby girl. I made friends with the other mums from NCT and we see each other twice a week. That's so nice. It's a lovely little group and we've all got babies the same age pretty much. But I can't help but feel the pressure to keep up with everyone else's milestones. One of the mums in particular seems to have everything together. Her baby's already crawling. She looks amazing all the time and her Instagram is full of perfectly staged photos. It's not just her. The other mums are constantly sharing their baby's progress and it makes me feel like I'm falling behind. My little one isn't crawling yet and I can't remember the last time I had a full night's sleep, let alone look put together. I'm also struggling losing the baby weight and all these other mums are slim and hot, walking around in their Lululemon leggings and I can't help but compare myself to them. I know I should be happy for my friends, but I can't shake this feeling of inadequacy. I don't want to distance myself from the group because I love them. How can I manage these feelings of jealousy and competition without letting them affect our friendships? This is so hard for mums to not get swept up in it. I think most mums that are listening right now can probably relate to a moment in definitely the postpartum stage as well, when, the babies are all so close in age, but all very different. And you're looking at different babies in the group and you're comparing yourself to them. And I remember when Woody met his little mate, Zuri. Shout out Zuri Ray. We love you. We met him and Zuri was always on the go. He was definitely crawling. He might have even been walking by the time I met him. I met him just before he turned 1. This kid was a mover and Woody was a very stationary baby. And I'd be lying if I wasn't a little bit jealous or I didn't get worried that my baby will never learn to walk. Spoiler alert, Woody learned to walk eventually. It's really hard to remember that just because they're babies doesn't mean they're all going to be the same. Just because they're small, they're all different. I had a mum email me literally the other night and it was a late in the night email, so I know she was stressed. She emailed me and she said, hey, I'm wondering how old your son is because I'm comparing your son's speech to my child and your son is way more advanced than my child and now I'm thinking I should contact a speech therapist. Like, what should I do? And I just was taken aback a little bit because I think I have spent a lot of my time comparing my son's development to other kids and I kind of forget that other people are doing that to Woody. And I said to her, look, Woody's speech is developed for his age and I get that a lot. I get people telling me his speech is quite advanced. But when I'm in the park, other kids are way more advanced than him. So lots of kids are running and jumping and climbing on climbing frames. And Woody, like I said, he's still quite stationary. Like he's quite happy, feet on the ground, but his mates are like running and jumping and, doing hurdles over things. And, when we look at adults, we are all so different. Like some of us are nerdy, some of us are extroverted, some of us are introverted, some of us are creative, some of us are athletic, some of us are really good readers, some of us are not very good readers at all, actually. We kind of forget that babies are extremely different too. You have to remember that their development is not a direct representation on how good of a mum you are or how smart your child is. Just because a baby's rolling before your baby doesn't mean that baby is going to be, a CEO of a company. They just learn to roll. We all learnt to roll eventually. And you know what? Sometimes I get it twisted. Woody does something and I'm like, that he must have done that thing that's advanced for his age because of something I did. It works both ways. So say if like I really was encouraging him, like doing exercises for him to learn to walk, lifting one leg up, lifting the other leg, like trying to get him to walk. And he was quite a slow walker. Is that some representation of me and my failings as a mother? Like, no, that's just, it wasn't his path. It wasn't his path to walk, but it was eventually. But it is hard to remember that sometimes. And you got little Polly over there rolling around like she owns the place, sitting up straight, saying mama, smirking at us. Polly's annoying mum in her Lululemon leggings, talking about all the sit-ups that she's been doing and saying, you know, oh, Polly's probably just taken after me. She's watching me do my sit-ups in the morning, so now she's taking after her mummy. Next up is your insecurity about your appearance. Now, I would say, you know, you didn't know these women before pregnancy, did you? So you don't necessarily know their pre-pregnancy disposition. Now, that is important. I get a lot of women comparing their body to my body. And I get so many messages of mums saying, how did you lose the baby weight? How did you lose the baby weight? I'm so jealous. Oh, and they get pissed off with themselves for not looking like me. And I always say every single time, for the 10 years before I had a baby, I was professionally fit. I was an athlete. So my postpartum body is going to look very different to yours because I was a professional fit person. You know, maybe her postpartum body is 10 steps ahead of what you would like to be or where you feel like you are, because her starting point was 10 steps ahead of you pre-baby. So it's really important to try and not compare yourself to someone that had a totally different starting point to you. We have all different shapes and sizes. Some bodies are curvy naturally. Some bodies are petite naturally. Different races are predisposed for different body types. And, you know, we can forget that. If we are predisposed to have a certain body shape and we are constantly comparing ourselves to other people that are predisposed to another body shape, we're going to be constantly upset. We're going to be constantly let down by our expectations of how we feel like we should look. As someone that has struggled with body image, as a slim person, I struggle with body image. And I know some people would look at me and think, what are you worried about? You're slim. I'm here to say it's deeper than your weight. It's not about your weight. It is something much more deeper than that. I have been different shapes and sizes. I've been more muscly than I am now. I've been much skinnier than I am now. I can tell you I was never happy. I was never able to appreciate what my body looked like in the moment. You know, if you look at slim people and you think, oh, if only I was that size, I'd be happy. I'd be confident if I was that size. I'm here to tell you that it's not true. You know, you have to think, does your worth come from the size of your body? Now, if you've just thought, yes, it does, then I'm not going to blame you, because we have been told our entire lives that our worth comes from the size of our body. But if you think about it rationally, we know it's not true. When I think about my worth as a human being coming from my weight, that is absurd. It's insane. It also does get to a certain point with your postpartum body where you have to actually learn to accept that the body that you had has gone. It's changed. And there's no bouncing back to it. You've got to learn to bounce forward. I'm bouncing forward, babes. My body is different now. My rib cage is bigger. My boobs are bigger and lower, much lower. My butt is flatter because I don't have the time to make it bigger because I'm busy, and that's fine. I think we have to also learn to give ourselves permission to just be in a squishy phase. You're still postpartum. You know what? I've had a baby. I am going to allow myself to be in my squishy phase. When do we ever give ourselves permission to be soft and squishy? And there's something beautiful about just accepting that, you know what? For the next couple of years, I'm going to be squishy. And when the time is right and I'm able to do it from a place of love, I will start prioritizing getting strong again, getting fit. But I'm going to make sure that it's coming from a place of love rather than a place of fear. You are about to hit that 9-month sleep regression, and that is going to rip you a new one. Now, what do you want to prioritize? Do you want to prioritize going to the gym and dieting? Or do you want to prioritize rest and abundance and time with your friends? And finally, let's just touch on this whole Instagram versus reality issue that's obviously going on here. I do have a theory about people that spend a lot of their time trying to show how happy they are online, that they are actually all deeply, deeply insecure. You know, those people that really like push their amazing relationship and how much fun they have, or how much they love their partner, or you know, when like their birthday rolls around and they post all the presents that their partner got you, or on Valentine's Day they post like all their roses they got and a card and blah, blah, blah. I just think, what are you trying to prove? Like, you know, those people that have those really intense family photo shoots, or they wear matching pajamas and they post loads of pictures in their matching pajamas. I just think, relax. Look how much we love each other. I'm not buying it. And no matter how much your pajamas match or how many roses he buys you, I'm not buying that you are as happy as you say you are. And when I think back to any beautiful piece of content that me and Zach have shot with Woody, obviously Zach is a filmmaker, so occasionally he shoots really beautiful content for us. And whenever I look back at those moments, it's never as good as it seems in real life. Actually, in the moment, it is a mess. You know, Woody's kicking off. Me and Zach are just like nipping at each other because he wants me to do a certain thing. And I'm getting frustrated or stressed or self-conscious. Actually, in the present moment, it's never good. But at least we get the shot, right? I was actually speaking to a mum at Forest School the other day. She was laughing with me about back in Halloween when, you know, there's this trend about like carving a pumpkin and putting your baby in the pumpkin. Well, she did that with her baby. Her husband was really pissed off at her for doing it. He was like, why are we doing this? This is so weird. And anyway, she was like, no, really, this is going to be so cute. It's going to be so cute. So she put the baby in the pumpkin and the pumpkin toppled over and the baby hit his head. And they ended up in A&E. But just before it toppled over, she did get the shot. Did she post a picture of them in A&E? Absolutely not. But she did post a shot of him in a pumpkin. And that to me is just proof that everything's fake. Oh my God, is that another cat sneaking into my house? A cheeky little shit cat, honestly, keeps on sneaking into my house and eating Tesco's cat food. And now that we're splashing out on scrumbles, like we can't afford to feed 2 houses of cats, okay? That shit is expensive. If I were you, I would start a funny thing on your WhatsApp group. I'm assuming you have a WhatsApp group with all these mums. I would start a little thing where you're just posting like funny reality moments. At the end of the day, you post like the shittest part of your day, your baby having a meltdown, or you post your messy house. Like, just start being what you wish they would be. Start being authentic to them. And I think when we are authentic, when we are real to the people around us, it gives other people the freedom to be real as well. And it's something that I heard on a podcast recently, and all my friends are probably bored of me saying this because I've been telling everyone ever since I heard this woman say it. But she said exactly that. When you live authentically, when you live free, you give your people the permission to be free as well. And maybe these girls that are posting those weird staged photos and their Instagram looks all perfect, they are just waiting for permission to not have to do that.
Next one.
Oh, this is our last dilemma. We've got a friend in distress, guys. So listen up. I need some advice before I spiral into full-blown paranoia. My husband works in the city, surrounded by hot colleagues in their sexy office wear. Meanwhile, I'm at home with 2 kids, usually rocking my crusty pajamas, covered in coffee stains and a messy bun. We obviously haven't had sex in a while. Mum life/work life means we are too tired, and to be honest, I'm not feeling myself nowadays. He's always hanging out with these colleagues after work. There's one woman in particular who seems way too friendly with him. He's mentioned how funny and smart she is. Excuse me? And they even have inside jokes. Are you just, that is rank. No. If Zach started having inside jokes with other girls, no. The only girl that you're allowed to laugh or smile at is me. If another girl is making you laugh, that's cheating. I see photos of them laughing together at these bougie corporate events and it's driving me nuts. I don't think my husband would cheat. But every time I see him with these gorgeous women, I feel more and more insecure. I'm stuck at home dealing with diapers. Oh, are we in America? Are we in America? Sorry. And tantrums. Sorry, I won't do that. Sorry, annoying. While he's out looking fly with attractive women. How do I deal with these feelings and get my confidence back? Am I just being paranoid, or is there some truth to my doubts? Sorry, there's still steam coming out my ears from when he said that someone else was funny and smart. Heads would be rolling if Zach came home after hanging out with these hot girls and being like, oh, she's so funny, she's so smart. I actually spoke to my husband about this. You know what? I think it's good to get male perspective on stuff like this, because boys know boys and they're more perceptive sometimes in like what other boys are doing. And he doesn't think he's cheating. He doesn't think your husband's cheating. He thinks that you're just lacking confidence and it's almost being projected onto him and the way that he's acting. But he says, you know, you just need to sit down and have an honest conversation with how you're feeling. And then we need to work on your confidence, build your confidence back up so you feel better in yourself and better in the relationship. Snore. Boring. I want some drama. I say we follow this man to work. Shades on, trench coat, mustache. We go undercover. We have a little snoop. Follow him to his office, see him flirt with those girls at the water tank. Why am I obsessed with the water tank? You know, we could follow him to work, stalk him, or we could love bomb him. Start sending him cards, presents, banners, loads of massive, you know, those massive tacky cards that you can get from the card shop that are like 3 meters high. Best daddy ever. We love you so much. You know, cards, multiple cards that he can stick on his desk. Pictures of your children saying, oh, fam, we love you, daddy. And he'll want to show them off, right? Unless he's cheating and those girls don't know he has a family. Well, they're going to know pretty soon with that big banner hanging over his office, his desk, saying best daddy ever. Or, you know, you could send him in with a new mug to use for his coffee. Husband of the year. Or maybe I'm happily married and committed. Don't flirt with me, or something just subtle. If they're that good mates, hey, why don't you invite them to our next family roast? Bring these girls over. Let me meet them. I would imagine that they're not as hot as you think they are, because you see them dressed up at these bougie events. So that is them looking like 10 out of 10. But day to day, how hot can they be? Unless your husband's working at Abercrombie and Fitch or Joe and the Juice. Let's be real. They're probably just normal looking girls. You know, you're seeing them when they're done up. Day to day, they ain't looking that way, trust me. I do agree with my husband. I don't think he's cheating on you. Unless he's an actual moron, he would be more subtle than that, surely. Like if he's going to be cheating on you, he's not going to be coming home and showing you pictures of them together and being like, she's so smart and funny. Like if he's sleeping with her, he's going to be you know, if I'm off cheating on Zach, I'm not then going to come home from cheating on him and then tell Zach how cool and funny this guy is. Like, unless he's an actual psychopath. And you know what? My husband's advice was boring, but he's probably right. Let's work on your confidence. What made you confident pre-baby? Let's do that. And you're going to have to keep me updated with this situation. I swear to God, if your husband is a cheater, I need to know. I need to know, because I'm going to lose all faith in men, because I cannot believe that anyone would be that brazen, that bold, that audacious to cheat on you and then show you pictures of the girl and then talk about how great she is. You know, for the sake of my own marriage, I hope this man is just a thick idiot and not cheating. And it's totally normal and fine and human to fancy other people in your relationship and to even flirt with other people. But don't bring it to my nose when I'm struggling with my self-esteem. I do agree with Zach though. We need to get you feeling good. I know you haven't washed your hair in over a week. So after this episode is done, stick an episode of Miss Rachel on for the kids, run upstairs, get in the shower, wash your hair, shave your legs, shave your bumhole, go get yourself a tan. Like let's put some makeup on, make yourself feel cute again. And then think about the stuff that you used to do pre-baby. What sort of stuff gave you confidence? Let's do that. Did you have hobbies? Can we start taking up those things again? So that's going to give you some confidence. And does your partner know how you feel? Have you spoken about it to him yet? Maybe you should sit him down and just say, listen, I'm really struggling with my self-esteem. I don't have much confidence right now. And I feel this type of way when I see you hanging out with all these hot women and having so much fun. And I really want to just reconnect with you and build up my confidence again. So this is the kind of stuff that I want to do, and I'd love your help in implementing these habits into my week. Because say if you're going to take up your hobbies, go to the gym or learn a skill or something, then he's going to have to, help you with childcare and taking up more stuff around the house, so you have time and the mental and physical capacity to do those things. And as your husband, like, that's his responsibility to do that. It's both of our responsibilities to make space for the other person to fill up their cup. I think when we have kids, and especially 2 kids, I can imagine it's really hard because you just focus so much on the kids and you kind of forget about each other. And we need to start dating our baby daddies again. Because I think a lot of us, we have kids and we kind of forget why we fell in love with this person, because life just lifes. The weeks go so fast. Sunday rolls around and then Monday happens again. And then before you know it, a whole week's gone past and we've not made any time for each other. So let's do a little bit of homework this week, mum friends, okay? If you haven't had a date with your partner in a while, make it a priority to book in a little date with them. Right, my battery is flashing, so that is all we have time for today, guys. If you haven't rated and reviewed this podcast, please go and do that right now. I'm sick of your shit, okay? There's nearly 500 subscribers to this podcast and only 105 reviews. I'm counting on you guys. And don't forget, if you have a friend in Morocco, remember, we're trying to double our listenership over there. So I need you guys working overtime here. Make sure you are sending in your dilemmas. You know what? Zach has actually asked to be on the podcast. So if you have any dilemmas specifically about your baby daddy that you would like a male perspective on, then send them my way and I'll start getting them together and we can have a special episode featuring the husband. I want to know all about your fucked up lives so I can tell everyone. I love you so much. Mwah.